The world is a cathedral of hidden wonders. Beneath every surface, stone, crystal, fabric, or petal, lies a universe unseen by ordinary eyes. With magnification, the familiar becomes strange, and the strange becomes sacred. A grain of sand reveals its geological journey, a droplet of water refracts entire galaxies of light, a gemstone holds the story of fire and earth pressed into eternity. This anthology is a journey through both the grand and the minute, gemstones born of volcanic fury, organic textures spun by life itself, and unexpected marvels in the overlooked. Each entry is not merely description, it is a story, a revelation of beauty carved in silence, waiting to be seen. Step closer. The world is whispering its secrets. A single eye stares into the world, liquid and infinite. Light bends across its glossy surface, revealing forests, skies, and shadows in miniature. Every heartbeat is captured in the glint, every breath mirrored in its depths. Framed by fur, feather, or scale, it holds the wisdom of instinct and the poetry of survival. In this gaze, predator and prey, curiosity and caution, eternity and fleeting moment merge into one unblinking, mesmerizing truth. Beneath the fallen leaves it walks, a quiet sentinel of earth and root, its carapace shining like hammered bronze, etched with the artistry of time. The beetle carries the weight of worlds, deadwood, soil, pollen, stars, in its patient tread, reminding us that kingdoms are built not by speed, but by persistence. Magnified, its shell is a stained glass temple, emerald, sapphire, obsidian black, each curve catching the light as though the sun itself were trapped within its armor. Its antennae sweep like ancient divining rods, sensing currents of air unseen, its legs grip the fabric of bark and soil with unshakable resolve. Though small, it is a knight eternal, a soldier of the undergrowth, wearing the heraldry of earth, marching through centuries unchanged. In its gaze there is no haste, only the rhythm of seasons, the steady drum of nature's time. The beetle is not merely insect, but symbol, that even the smallest life is clad in grandeur, and even the humblest journey shines with glory. Up close, a butterfly's wing is no fragile veil, but a mosaic of shimmering scales. Each tile glitters with iridescent colors that shift and vanish with the angle of light. To the naked eye, it's delicate; under the lens, it's a fortress of artistry. Ancient cultures believed butterfly wings carried souls, the shimmering dust left behind as proof of divine passage. Each wing is a painted cathedral of nature, built not for permanence, but for a fleeting dance through sunlit air. Emerald fire glows in a slit of shadow. The cat's eye, sharp and unblinking, reflects a world of secret corridors, moonlit rooftops, and silent hunts. Whiskers tremble with the air's pulse, fur framing the jewel-like orb. In its gaze lies curiosity and cunning, ancient instincts honed over countless nights. Every movement, every shadow, is caught in the cornea's glassy depths, a world alive, focused, and entirely its own. Beneath the ocean's shifting blue, coral grows like stone-born fire. What seems lifeless from afar is, in truth, a living city, thousands of tiny beings building towers, bridges, and fortresses of calcium. Up close, its surface is riddled with intricate chambers, each a doorway into life's persistence. Ancient sailors believed coral to be hardened drops of blood, spilled from battles between sea gods. Today it is both jewel and ecosystem, a reminder that even the most delicate beauty can forge entire worlds. A dandelion seed is the dream of flight captured in nature's design. Up close, its parachute of filaments looks like spun glass, delicate yet strong enough to ride the gentlest breeze. Each carries within it the promise of a future meadow, 1,000 flowers from one breath of wind. Children make wishes on them, scattering destiny into the sky. To see one magnified is to realize how carefully nature engineers freedom, a seed that floats, wanders, and roots where the earth calls it home. At a glance, a petal is soft, simple beauty, but under magnification, it reveals a tapestry of veins and textures. Each ridge channels life, carrying sunlight and water through a delicate body thinner than paper. The surface glimmers with tiny cells that catch and scatter light, producing hues that shift like whispers of dawn. To insects, these veins are maps guiding them to nectar. To humans, they are the language of romance and renewal. A flower petal is both ephemeral and eternal, lasting but a season, yet echoing in memory for lifetimes. Moss is the quiet architect of forgotten places. It creeps across stone and wood, weaving carpets of emerald velvet where life should not thrive. Under magnification, each tuft becomes a miniature forest, tiny leaves drinking in mist, stems rising like trees in a world too small for the eye to see. It thrives in shadows, in silence, in damp corners of time, softening the edges of ruin. Moss is persistence made green, nature's gentle reclamation, a whisper that life endures even where all seems still. A spider's web is nature's lace, delicate and deadly. Its silken threads are finer than hair yet stronger than steel, woven with mathematical precision. Dew clings to the strands like jewels, turning it into a glittering net suspended in air. Up close, every filament reveals a story of patience and survival, a trap that doubles as art. To the spider, it is both home and weapon. To us, it is proof that beauty and danger often share the same design. The honeycomb is nature's cathedral, geometry perfected by instinct. Its hexagons are so precise that mathematicians marvel at their efficiency, maximum strength, minimum material. Up close, the wax walls gleam with traces of honey, golden and alive with sweetness. It is more than a structure, it is a home, a nursery, a storehouse, and a monument to collective will. To gaze into it is to see order born from chaos, a kingdom built not by kings but by countless wings working as one. Ice is water's moment of stillness, and under magnification, its crystals become miracles of symmetry. Each branch of a snowflake or shard of frost is unique, yet bound by the same laws of geometry. They form silently, invisibly, in cold air, etching designs finer than any hand could carve. To behold one is to glimpse perfection before it melts away, vanishing into nothing but memory. Ice crystals are fleeting sculptures of the sky, proof that even the most fragile things can carry infinite beauty. A soap bubble is fragile perfection, and when touched by oil, it becomes a universe of color. Swirling bands of violet, green, and gold ripple across its delicate skin, shifting with the faintest breath of air. Under magnification, these colors are not pigments but light itself, waves colliding, bending, refracting into brilliance. A bubble lasts only moments before bursting, yet in that heartbeat, it carries galaxies on its surface. It is proof that beauty need not last to be infinite. When oil drifts across the surface of water, it creates a rainbow map of light. Shimmering films spread into shifting rivers of blues, purples, and greens, always moving, never still. Up close, the patterns resemble stained glass windows, fractured yet fluid. Once seen as a stain or a pollutant, it becomes under the lens a reminder, even what Mars can mesmerize, even accidents can create beauty. Oil on water is impermanence itself, an ever-changing canvas, painted by chance and light. No two snowflakes are the same, and under magnification, their uniqueness becomes miraculous. Each is a crystal of frozen geometry, branches of ice growing outward in perfect symmetry. Born in clouds, sculpted by air, they drift down as silent wonders, fragile and fleeting. They melt almost as soon as they touch, yet in that brief life, they carry perfection. A snowflake is eternity's signature written in frost, a fleeting masterpiece that proves even the smallest things can carry infinite beauty. A single droplet of water is a universe contained. Magnified, it becomes a crystal orb, bending light into miniature rainbows and mirrored worlds. Some cling to leaves, trembling on the edge of falling, others scatter across glass like stars across the night sky. Within, whole landscapes reflect, inverted and distorted. Each droplet is temporary, vanishing with the sun, yet in its brief existence it holds infinity. Water droplets are the Earth's jewelry, born of clouds and destined to return, cycling endlessly through sky and soil. A wall of paint, long forgotten, holds stories in its fractures. Up close, the cracks are not decay but rivers, valleys, and deserts of pigment. They map the slow march of time, the heat of summers, the chill of winters, the silent weight of years. Each crack is a story of endurance, a scar that transforms plain color into a landscape of memory. Where others see ruin, the patient eye sees beauty, the artistry of entropy painting with the hand of time. Up close, fabric is no longer soft and yielding, but a battlefield of threads. Each strand crosses another with tension and precision, building strength from fragility. Wool, silk, cotton, each has its own rhythm, a fingerprint of craft. What seems uniform from afar becomes a labyrinth of interlocking paths, each decision of the loom etched into its body. Ancient weavers believed that every thread carried a story, and to wear a garment was to carry a world. Under magnification, the truth of that belief comes alive. Rust is time's signature, iron surrendering to air and water. What looks like decay becomes, under close view, a landscape of ochre, crimson, and bronze, mountains and rivers carved from corrosion. Each flake is a testament to transformation, metal's memory shifting from strength to fragility. Rust tells a story of endurance undone, yet there is beauty in its ruin, a reminder that even the strongest materials bow to time. In rust, destruction becomes art, and endings become beginnings. Salt, the simplest of minerals, becomes astonishing up close. Its crystals grow in perfect cubes, miniature fortresses of symmetry. They sparkle like snow, clear or tinged with earthy hues depending on their birthplace, ocean, desert, or cavern. Once worth more than gold, salt was the currency of survival, preserving food, carrying life. To see its crystalline structure magnified is to witness order in its purest form, nature's geometry, sharp and precise, hidden in something we touch every day without thought. Sand is a desert's dust, a beach's shimmer, yet under magnification it reveals itself as treasure. Grains are shards of crystal, coral, shell, and stone, tiny relics of mountains worn down by time. Each is unique, some clear as glass, others jewel-toned, some jagged, others smooth. Viewed closely, a handful of sand becomes a universe of colors and shapes. It is Earth's timepiece, recording eons in miniature. Sand is patience ground to dust, eternity scattered beneath our feet. At human scale, it is lifeless, just a flat panel of lines and dots. But magnified, a circuit board becomes a glowing metropolis. Copper rivers flow through green valleys, sodded towers rise like skyscrapers, and tiny connections hum like streets alive with traffic. This is the hidden city of the digital world, where invisible currents race like lightning through veins of metal. Every click, every word, every dream passing through a screen is born in this silent landscape, where order and chaos fuse into electricity. Once part of a bird in flight, the feather quill tip is a paradox, fragile in structure, yet strong enough to write history. Under the lens, the fibers tighten into ridges and grooves, forming the precise point that once carried ink across parchment. Kings signed decrees, poets traced love, scholars mapped the stars, all through the sharpened end of flight itself. A quill is both wing and word, freedom and permanence. Each stroke it made was not just ink, but flight preserved in human memory. In childhood, marbles were worlds. Under a microscope, they still are, tiny orbs of frozen galaxies, swirls of color caught in perfect spheres. Each one contains a cosmos, spirals of green, blue, red, or gold, suspended like nebulas in crystal. They were once tools of play, yet they carry more, echoes of laughter, competition, and imagination. Hold one to the light, and you see not just glass but memory itself, captured forever in a single, flawless globe. A vinyl record, under magnification, becomes a canyon of sound. The tiny grooves spiral endlessly, carrying the vibrations of voices and instruments long past. Each ridge is a memory encoded in physical form, waiting for a needle to awaken it. Viewed up close, it looks like alien terrain, valleys and peaks sculpted in perfect rhythm. It is music made eternal, a physical trace of melody and time. Vinyl grooves are proof that sound, though fleeting in the air, can be carved into matter and live forever. By day it glows green, cool and mysterious like a deep forest under sunlight. But when night falls and flame touches its surface, it burns red, alive with hidden fire. Alexandrite is a stone of paradox, its soul divided between light and dark. Ancient legends say it embodies duality, fate and choice, hope and despair. Those who carry it are said to hold two destinies within their hand, a jewel that whispers of unseen paths, and the shifting truths that shape every life. Amber is not stone, but sunlight captured and preserved. Golden drops of resin fell from ancient trees, trapping wings, petals, and whispers of vanished forests inside. Held to the light, amber becomes a time capsule, glowing with a warmth that feels alive. Within its depths, forgotten creatures sleep, mosquitoes, moths, even fragments of fern. Each piece is a relic of worlds erased, yet still breathing through this fossilized flame, proof that memory can be immortal. A crystal born of twilight, amethyst glows with serene violet light. For centuries it was said to protect dreamers from madness, to steady the mind against chaos. Its surface seems to hum with calm, as though night itself had been frozen into stone. Ancient chalices carved from amethyst were thought to guard against intoxication, holding the clarity of stars within their facets. To gaze into its depths is to hear the echo of distant skies, where silence reigns and shadows rest. Andaluzite is a stone of shifting truths. Tilt it once, and it shines green, tilt again, and fiery red bursts forth. Its colors shift like unspoken moods, never constant, always alive. Some call it the gem of crossroads, a talisman for those forced to choose between diverging paths. Within its heart, every glance reveals a different story, reminding us that nothing is fixed, truth changes with perspective, and destiny bends like light across its crystal face. To hold a black opal is to cradle the cosmos. Its dark body flashes with lightning, sparks of green, red, and blue erupting like galaxies caught in stone. In Australia, it was called the fire of the desert, a jewel where stars fell to earth. It is a gem of mystery, said to carry both fortune and danger, for it mirrors the soul of whoever wears it. Black opal is the night sky alive with fire, the universe condensed into a single, burning heartbeat. Beneath the rugged weight of stone, veins of fire sleep. Boulder opal is born where earth and flame embrace, its shimmering ribbons trapped inside ironstone. Unlike free-floating gems, its beauty is inseparable from its host, a reminder that brilliance often hides in the rough. When light touches its surface, colors bloom like rivers of molten paint, green, violet, scarlet, alive against the darkness of its cradle. Bolder opal whispers that splendor often comes not in perfection, but in contrast, where the mundane and the miraculous meet. Chrysoberyl gleams with a golden green fire, a stone that holds the sharpness of sunlight filtered through forest leaves. When cut into cat's eye form, a pale band of light glides across its surface, like a living creature staring back. Legends say it protects travelers and warriors, warding off misfortune with its watchful gaze. To hold chrysoberyl is to grasp a fragment of dawn itself, unyielding, bright, and ever vigilant, a jewel that sees when others are blind. Soft green and tender as spring leaves, chrysoprase carries a soothing glow that seems to heal the eye. Ancient Greeks called it a stone of Aphrodite, born of love, joy, and renewal. Its color is not fierce but nurturing, like the gentle promise of new grass after winter's thaw. Hidden in its soft translucence are whispers of orchards and rain-washed hills. To gaze into chrysoprase is to remember that power can be gentle, and that beauty often whispers instead of shouts. Citrine burns with the warmth of a captured sun. Its golden glow was once thought to hold the power of abundance, carried by merchants as a charm of wealth. The stone feels alive, as if sunlight itself had crystallized, warming the hand that holds it. In ancient lore, citrine was a guardian against venom and plague, a jewel of life's vitality. To look into its heart is to see harvest fields, autumn fire, and endless warmth, a reminder that light can be kept even in the darkest times. Born from pressure and fire, diamond is the earth's most unyielding child. Its clarity holds the memory of eternity, light enters and is split into 1,000 stars. To gaze upon one is to glimpse infinity refracted. Legends say diamonds are shards of fallen starlight, eternal guardians of purity and strength. They are paradox-made stone, harder than any blade, yet delicate enough to scatter rainbows at a touch. In its heart, diamond carries both violence and brilliance, the fusion of destruction and beauty. Emerald glows with the green of eternal spring, as though it holds a forest trapped in crystal. To stare into its depths is to walk among hidden groves, where sunlight filters through leaves and rivers run unseen. Ancient queens and emperors prized it not only for beauty but for wisdom. Emerald was said to reveal truth, even in deception. It is a stone of vision, clarity, and life renewed. Its fractures, called jardins or gardens, are not flaws, but the living veins of the earth itself. Fire opal is flame captured in stone, its body glowing with shifting rivers of red, orange, and gold. Unlike other gems, it does not reflect light passively but seems to generate its own inner blaze. Look closer, and it flickers like a living ember, as though a fragment of volcanic fire cooled just enough to hold. Ancient Mesoamerican legends called it the stone of the hummingbird, believing its light came from the fiery souls of warriors. It is a jewel of passion, unpredictable and alive, a shard of earth that forever burns without consuming itself. Garnet glows with the depth of spilled wine, a crimson that seems to pulse with life. Once worn by warriors as a talisman, it was believed to stop bleeding and guard against night terrors. Up close, the gemstone is a storm of facets, each one a blade of fire. Its name comes from the pomegranate, and indeed it looks like the seeds of that fruit, glossy, rich, and bursting with hidden power. Garnet is a stone of loyalty and blood, binding wearer to promise, soldier to battle, and lover to flame. Iolite, the Vikings' compass, once guided explorers across storm-tossed seas. Its pleochroic nature means it shifts colors, violet, blue, gray, depending on the angle of light, as if the stone carries multiple skies within it. Sailors held it against the sun to find direction when compasses failed. Up close, it is a swirling ocean frozen into crystal, a fragment of twilight woven with mystery. Iolite is not just a gemstone but a navigator's lantern, a talisman of journeys into the unknown, smooth, luminous, and alive with hidden depth. Jadeite jade is revered as a stone of balance and immortality. Its shades range from the palest spring green to the deepest emerald, sometimes glowing with a translucence that feels otherworldly. To ancient cultures, it was more than beauty, it was virtue carved into stone. Jade was said to hold breath, spirit, and life itself. Its veins ripple like rivers trapped in crystal, each marking a path of patience, wisdom, and endurance. In jade, the earth whispers softly of harmony. Kyanite is a blade of the sky, its crystals long and striated like frozen rays of blue lightning. It does not bend, does not break easily, but aligns itself perfectly with its growth, a symbol of clarity and honesty. In metaphysical law, it requires no cleansing, ever pure, ever true. Seen close, it is streaked with silvery shimmer, like frost running through cobalt. Kyanite feels like a shard of truth itself, a gemstone that demands alignment with the path of the heavens. To gaze into Labrador it is to witness magic itself. At rest, it appears dark, muted, unassuming, but shift it in the light, and colors burst forth, blues, greens, golds, even violets, shimmering like the wings of a celestial bird. This phenomenon, Labradorescence, is a dance of hidden fire beneath a stone's surface. Inuit legend says it is the trapped light of the aurora borealis, fallen to earth. Labradorite is the gemstone of transformation and mystery, reminding us that within every shadow lies hidden brilliance. Lapis lazuli is a fragment of the night sky-made stone. Deep, celestial blue flecked with golden pyrit resembles constellations scattered across eternity. Ancient Egyptians ground it into pigment for sacred art, Mesopotamian kings wore it as a seal of power, poets saw in it the very essence of the heavens. Up close, its surface glitters with mysteries of the cosmos, as though the universe itself lies compressed in your hand. Lapis is not just a gem but a cosmic relic, a reminder of our longing to touch the infinite. Malachite is Earth's fingerprint, painted in vivid green bands that curl and ripple like ancient wood grain. Each swirl is a record of growth, a chronicle of copper-rich earth shaping itself into art. Long used as a protective stone, it was believed to ward off evil and draw out poison. Look closely, and you see landscapes within, rolling hills, deep valleys, rivers of green frozen in motion. Malachite is a guardian stone, bold yet grounding, a reminder that even in chaos, patterns form and endure. Moonstone is a gem of secrets and silences. Its glow, soft, ethereal, shifting between silver and blue, seems less like reflection and more like the stone itself is lit from within by moonlight. Turn it, and veils of light drift across its surface, a phenomenon called adularescence, as if the moon is forever rising inside. Ancient cultures called it a stone of dreams and prophecy, a bridge between worlds. To gaze into moonstone is to feel the pool of tides, the rhythm of night, the whisper of hidden destinies. Nephrite jade is the earth's soft strength, smooth as water-worn stone yet unyielding to time. Unlike its cousin jadeite, it flows with creamy greens and muted tones, like mist curling through valleys. For millennia, it was carved into blades, ornaments, and sacred objects, treasured for both beauty and resilience. Look closely, and you see fibers within, entwined, interlocked, like nature's own weaving. Nephrite is the quiet guardian, less radiant but more enduring, embodying patience, protection, and the still heart of the mountains. Obsidian is the night made solid, a volcanic glass born from fire cooled too quickly for crystals to form. Its surface is mirror dark, reflecting faces and fears alike. For ancient peoples, it was sharper than steel, carved into blades that cut with surgical precision. Yet it is also mystical, a scrying stone, said to reveal hidden truths in its glossy depths. Up close, it holds shifting rainbows, golden sheens, or snowflake patterns, depending on its birth. Obsidian is the paradox of fire, destruction hardened into beauty. Onyx is darkness given depth, a gemstone layered in bands of shadow and silence. Black as midnight yet streaked with ivory lines, it is the stone of contrasts, of duality and balance. For centuries, it has been carved into seals and amulets, believed to draw out strength in trials. Under close gaze, the bands are stories, each layer a memory of Earth's ages. Onyx does not glitter or shine, it whispers instead, steady and solemn, embodying the power of endurance in quiet form. Peridot is sunlight crystallized, glowing with green so bright they verge on golden fire. Unlike most gems, it is born deep in the mantle, carried up to the surface by volcanic fury. Ancient cultures believed it was a stone of the sun, chasing away the darkness of night and evil dreams. Under magnification, its glow seems almost alive, as if embers of daylight were trapped within. Peridot is joy solidified, a gem that holds not just color, but the warmth of summer itself. Precious opal is a living kaleidoscope, its surface dancing with shifting rainbows. Unlike any other gem, it contains fire, water, and light woven into one. Each angle reveals a new universe, galaxies of green, oceans of blue, flames of red. Ancient peoples believed opal to be a stone of prophecy, its colors windows into the divine. Up close, it is alive, as though liquid light runs beneath its skin. Precious opal is not just a jewel, it is magic crystallized, the earth dreaming in color. Ruby is the stone of blood and flame, pulsing with the deep red of a living heart. Its brilliance is more than beauty, it is vitality itself, the ember that refuses to fade. Warriors wore rubies into battle as protection, lovers gave them as oaths of passion. Under magnification, fractures glow like veins of fire, as though the stone itself breathes. Ruby is desire, courage, and sacrifice embodied, a gemstone that has burned in crowns and talismans for millennia, forever alive with flame. Sapphire is the sky made solid, a stone that carries the weight of heaven in its depths. Its deep blue draws the eye as though into endless seas, calm yet powerful, eternal as the cosmos. Kings and prophets wore sapphires as symbols of wisdom and divine favor, believing they connected mortal minds to the infinite. Up close, its facets are windows of starlight, glowing with hidden fire. Sapphire is truth given form, a gemstone that embodies clarity, loyalty, and the vastness of the celestial dome. Spinel is the great impostor, long mistaken for ruby or sapphire, yet in its own right it glows with brilliance. Its colors range from crimson to violet to electric blue, each rich and vibrant. Under magnification, it reveals clarity so striking it seems lit from within. Once decorating royal crowns as rubies, Spinel's true identity emerged only centuries later, proving that beauty does not need fame to endure. It is the hidden jewel of history, radiant, humble, and enduring as the earth itself. Sunstone carries the radiance of dawn, shimmering with golden inclusions that scatter light like embers. It glows with warmth, shifting between fiery orange, bright gold, and soft peach, as if the sun itself were trapped in crystal. Ancient peoples believed it was a shard of the sun fallen to earth, a talisman of vitality and good fortune. Viewed closely, flecks of copper glimmer like sparks in a hearth. Sunstone is joy crystallized, the eternal sunrise held in the palm of your hand. Tanzanite is twilight-made stone, a gem that shifts between blue, violet, and indigo as though the horizon itself had been crystallized. Found only at the foot of Mount Kilimanjaro, it is rarer than diamond, a treasure born of a single mountain's fire. Up close, its pleochroic nature dazzles, showing different colors with every turn, like a sunset fading into night. Legends whisper it was first revealed by lightning striking the earth, setting the stones ablaze with celestial fire. Tanzanite is transformation embodied, the meeting of dusk and dawn in a single jewel. Topaz gleams with the brilliance of captured sunlight, its golden hues evoking warmth, clarity, and abundance. Yet it is not limited to one shade, it can burn fiery red, shimmer icy blue, or glow soft as champagne. Ancient civilizations believed it carried the strength to break curses and heal spirits. Under magnification, its facets become windows into a fire both gentle and fierce, like sunbeams trapped in crystal. Topaz is resilience turned radiant, a gem that reminds us the light always endures. Turquoise is Earth's sky made tangible, sacred to cultures from Egypt to the Americas. Its blue-green depths, veined with copper and spider web patterns, carry the feel of both desert and ocean. Ancient warriors wore it for protection, while artisans carved it into amulets of healing and luck. Seen closely, its surface resembles shifting landscapes, mountains, rivers, clouds frozen in stone. Turquoise is connection, between heaven and earth, spirit and body, past and present, always reminding us of the sacred in the everyday. Zircon is a gem of ancient fire, older than nearly any other mineral on Earth. Some crystals date back over 4 billion years, as old as the first continents. Often mistaken for diamond, it shines with brilliance and fiery dispersion, scattering light into 1,000 hues. Under magnification, it reveals fractures and inclusions like cosmic starfields, traces of the planet's deep history etched into its heart. Zircon is time itself crystallized, proof that even the smallest gem can carry the story of worlds. From the glowing mysteries of Alexandrite to the ancient light of zircon, these glimpses into the microscopic and the magnificent remind us that beauty hides in every scale of existence. Gems are not only treasures but storytellers, each one carrying tales of fire, pressure, oceans, and skies. Even the humblest textures, fibers, droplets, grains of sand, become epic when viewed with wonder. Together, they form a secret atlas of the world, written not in words, but in the languages of crystal, color, and time. Closing reflections. The smallest threads, the rarest gems, the ordinary drops of water, all tell stories. This anthology is not just a record of textures or light, but of time and transformation. Gems whisper of volcanic fire and ocean depths, moss and fabric remind us of life's quiet persistence, snowflakes and bubbles reveal the artistry of fleeting moments. To look closer is to rediscover wonder. Every surface hides infinity, and every grain of matter holds its own epic. The world is not silent, it only waits for eyes willing to see.
Thanks for watching and suggest any ideas for future projects. Support the channel with some of my epic merch through my Bonfire store, new designs coming soon, and the material is strong and soft, I can confirm that personally. Or buy me a pizza, links in description. Be sure to live and subscribe aiming for 1000 subs.
A man tells his story with unsettling calmness, swearing he's sane. But his words tremble beneath the weight of obsession. He lived with an old man he claimed to love, yet something about the man's pale, clouded eye filled him with unbearable dread. Each night he crept silently to the old man's door, watching, waiting. Then one night, the eye opened and so did his madness. In a fit of cold logic disguised as clarity, he struck. The old man gasped once, then silence. Methodically, he dismembered the body and hid the pieces beneath the wooden floorboards. He smiled at the perfection of his crime. No blood, no mess, no guilt, or so he thought. When the police arrived, drawn by a neighbor's call, he welcomed them with confidence. He spoke politely, even brought chairs for them to sit upon right above the hidden corpse. But as they chatted casually, a sound began. Faint at first, a soft thump. Then louder. A heartbeat. The sound grew until it filled his skull, drowning every other noise. He laughed nervously, talking faster, louder, trying to ignore it. Yet it throbbed steady, merciless, accusing. He screamed, flipping the table, tearing up the floor, confessing his crime just to silence that dreadful rhythm. The heartbeat wasn't the old man's. It was his own, a sound born of guilt, echoing the madness within him. And in that moment, the line between sanity and insanity vanished forever. Even now, the echo lingers, a reminder that the loudest confessions are often those whispered by a guilty conscience.
Thanks for watching, and suggest any ideas for future projects. Support the channel with some of my epic merch through my Bonfire store, new designs coming soon, and the material is strong and soft, I can confirm that personally. Or buy me a pizza, links in description. Be sure to live and subscribe, aiming for 1000 subs.